If you've turned your game on at all today, then you know today is huge in Pokemon Go. We have a ton of stuff that came out today, so we're going to get to covering it and maybe explain a little bit how things are going to work. And then we are also going to cover the new legendary raid boss, Regice. So I'm going to show you guys what are some good counters and what teams will work best against what moveset. Okay, we're going to start with the biggest update that just released today, the friends, trading, and gifts in Pokemon Go. Now, our friends over here at GoHub have created a great guide, so I'm just going to go over it and explain how things are going to work to the best of my knowledge, and kind of help you understand things maybe a little better, because sometimes it's a little confusing. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with friends here. There are going to be able to add friends. It is going to be on your main trainer screen. You'll just slide right, and that's where you'll be able to add friends. Currently it is only level 40, but Niantic has said it will be rolling out. It's just going to be a slow rollout just to keep their servers from crashing. So as more time comes, more levels will be added. I don't believe they put a level on friendship of what level you have to be in account-wise to be friends with people. But there are a few things with friends and friendship that need to be discussed. For one, there are going to be friendship levels. These levels are going to be good, great, ultra, and best. Each level has a bonus. With the higher friendship level you have, the more bonuses you're going to get. Some of these bonuses are going to be great, like more damage when raiding. You'll also get more Premier Balls when raiding with your friends. Your trades will have a lower Stardust cost, and we'll be covering that more in detail later. And that's pretty much it for now, so we're going to scroll on down. Here is the 4 levels, as I was saying, and this one also gives a timeline of how long it takes to get to each level of friendship. Now, your good friend you're going to get on your first day. When you first become friends with somebody, you're going to be a good friend, and you'll be able to trade all Pokemon except Mythicals, and I believe this has been updated to include Legendaries and Shinies yet. Now, Great Friend is going to be your next level. It's going to take you 7 days or 1 week to get. You'll be able to trade all Pokemon except Mythicals. Now, this has a one-time discount on trading, so the Stardust cost per trade is going to be slightly lower, but we haven't quite figured out what the costs are going to be, so I can't give an exact amount. Now, when you're raiding in gyms, you will get extra attack bonus and 1 extra Premier Ball per raid when you're raiding with a great friend. Now, these bonuses do not stack, so as we go higher up, if you're raiding with a higher level friend and a lower level friend, you only get the highest bonus. You do not get both. So our Ultra Friend is going to be a 30-day task. You will be able to trade all Pokemon except Mythicals, and your Stardust looks like it's going to be cut in half on your trading. You're going to get a double attack bonus, and you're going to get 2 extra Premier Balls when you raid with an Ultra Friend. Then your best friend, which is the highest level friend you can get, is going to take 90 days, so it's going to take about 3 months. You'll be able to trade all Pokemon except Mew, and it will be 1/3 the cost of what a good friend trade would be. Now, your bonuses for this, you're going to get 3 times the attack bonus and 4 extra Premier Balls. Everybody needs extra Premier Balls in those legendary raids. So make sure that you're doing your best to interact with your friends daily to raise your friendship level and get this best friend status. Now, as it says here, it's strongly encouraged to raise your level, as these bonuses work on top of the existing weather and team-based damage/ball bonuses. And again, however, only the highest friend bonus is applied. They do not stack. So the next thing we're going to cover is gifts. Now, these are pretty cool. It's something that Niantic's kind of added. I don't know if anybody even seen it coming, but when you spin a Pokestop or a gym, you'll receive a special gift. Now, you yourself cannot open that gift, but you can send it to a friend on your friends list. They will be able to open it, and it will contain rare items. Now, those rare items, they have been rumored to be more rare stuff for your Pokestops, as in max revives, max potions, but it's not going to be something that comes from a raid, such as TMs and rare candies. Now, occasionally you will get an egg that can be in the gifts. That egg is going to possibly hatch into an Alolan form of the Kanto version Pokemon. I have seen a Sandshrew already posted, so I know that this is definitely going to happen. And the egg distance is 7 kilometers, as it says right here, special 7-kilometer egg. Now, the Alolan form Pokemon that are in the eggs are going to be exclusive to these special eggs from your gifts. If you do get a gift from a friend, you don't have to open it immediately. You can wait. So if you don't have an egg slot available, it's best to wait to open that gift just in case it does contain one of these 7-kilometer eggs. And the big one that everybody has been waiting for almost 2 years is going to be trading. Now, they did put a level requirement, a level 10 and higher. And as I mentioned a couple of times now, it does cost Stardust to trade Pokemon. You will have to meet that Stardust for both parties. Not just one person covers the entire Stardust amount. Both parties must pay Stardust to make the trade. Now, Niantic did put some rules in here, and some of them are pretty important. And it's a vital thing that in order to keep the game functioning correctly. You will need to be within 100 meters of each other. That is going to be, for the Americans, that is 328 feet. So you need to be within 100 meters or 328 feet of each other to recognize that you can trade. Now, this is the important thing that I think had to happen in order for trading not to ruin the game and to make sure that super accounts didn't get made for people that have multi-accounts. The IVs, the CP, and the HP are going to be re-rolled when you trade a Pokemon. So if you have that 100% IV Pokemon, do not trade it. It will not be 100% when you trade it to the other account. Now, Niantic has some pictures up on their website where you can see right here, this little trade for a Squirtle for a Pikachu is only going to cost both players 100 Stardust. Now, when you do trade, you will get candy, and the further that your Pokemon and the person you're trading are apart from their catches, you will get more candy for that trade. So as you see here, this person caught in San Francisco, California. So if this person, this trainer NIA, is from, say, Texas, they would receive a large amount of candy. I do believe it was maxed out at 100 kilometers for the max amount of candy, but they would receive more candy for their trade since the two came from a greater distance apart. But as it says, a regular trade will cost 100 Stardust, and then the candy bonuses we just covered between locations where they're caught. You get a maximum candy bonus when you trade Pokemon caught at 100 kilometers. So, special trading. Now, this is going to be something that you need to pay attention to because you can only do one of these per day. Not one of these per day per friend. You can only do one per day, and it can only be with Great or Best, and it does include Ultra. I don't know why they didn't include this, but Great, Ultra, and Best friends can trade. Now, special trades are only available for legendary Pokemon, shiny Pokemon, or ones that you have not yet caught, such as regional. So if your friend has went overseas and has a Mr. Mime, or they have a Kangaskhan, you can trade, but you can only do that once per day, and the cost is really high until you get to this best friend level. They are around 40k per trade when you're at your best friend level, But if you're just at a great level, it can cost all the way up to 1 million Stardust. So make sure that you are getting out there and you're interacting with your friends, you're raiding with them, you're gem battling, you're trading, you're gifting. Make sure you're doing something to increase that friend level so you can get that best friend status in 3 months. Because 40k Stardust is a whole lot easier to get than 1 million Stardust. Now, the special trade, it does reset at midnight every night. So it's not a 24-hour. It's kind of like your gem coins. At midnight, it will reset, and you can trade again at 12:01. Now, just to cover a little more on the gifts here, just from more research that I have found and stuff that we've learned today, they will have, as you can see in the picture here, it's a postcard. Now, this postcard tells you where your friend got that gift from that they sent you. And from what I'm understanding is you can gift items from anywhere. There's not a distance lock on gifting somebody something. And how you would gift it is you would slide over to the right, you would go to your friends option, and then there's a send gift button. And you, from what I understand, you can gift anywhere in the world. I haven't seen an argument otherwise, but I'm not saying that it's true or not. So that is going to be the gist of what we are looking at today. As everybody knows, everybody's really excited to get the trading and the friends thing. The gift, I think, is really neat. The Stardust cost is going to be crazy. But I think this is a really nice thing. Niantics, I mean, it took them 2 years to do. But I'm really glad to see that they finally got to the level that they have figured out how to do it without breaking the game like everybody said, and without being able to create those super accounts that everybody was worried about. This covers everything that I think is important about the new update. As always, if there's something that I didn't cover and you'd like to learn more info about it, go ahead and leave it down in the comments, and I'll either make a quick episode about it and cover that option for you, or multiple options in that episode, just so everything is covered and we kind of get all the questions that you need answered. But for now, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next item. Okay, everybody, as you probably know by now, Regice, the new level 5 legendary raid boss, has came into Pokemon Go and will be here until July 17th. Now, when I go to raids, I always get asked, hey, what's good to use against this? Or what do I need to use? And everybody, they seem confused on what does the most damage and how they get the most premier balls. Because the more damage you do in a raid, the more premier balls you get. So I've decided that with the new legendary coming out, to create a guide here. And GoHub has created a counter guide for us, so I'm going to use their guide to help explain why it's good to use, what they suggest, and what the best thing to use in the raid would be. So, as you see here, Regice Max Capture Combat is going to be 1,764 without a weather boost. Here in America, it's summertime, so we are not going to see this snowy weather boost. But if you are somewhere where it snows, your 100% will be 2,205 CP. Now, as it says right here, we're going to cover which counters are best suited against the legendary Pokemon and how to help you prepare to take down this legendary. It says here around 6 trainers or at least 4. Of course, this is going to be dependent on everybody's trainer level and how much powered up the Pokemon that they are using is. Because obviously 6 trainers that have 6 level 20 Pokemon is not going to do as well as 6 trainers that have 6 level 40 Pokemon. So kind of just take that with a grain of salt and figure out how many you're going to need. It does say it can be taken with 4, which I believe is possible. I'd really like to see that happen, so if you happen to do it, go ahead and post a video down in the comments. So we're going to cover everything here. As you can see, this is Regice. He is going to be boosted by snow. Like I said, not going to happen where I'm at. Maybe it will where you are. His weakness is going to be fire, rock, fighting, and steel. And all these are going to have a 1.4, so it does an extra 0.4 damage if you use this weakness. Now this is where the best Pokemon, as you can see at the bottom here, best Pokemon versus Regice. The best Pokemon, the reason they label these as the best is because they are going to fit into this weakness category. Now this isn't saying that other types aren't good and other types won't do damage, but these are going to be the best because they do the 1.4 damage. Instead of normal damage, it's going to be one-time damage, or if he's resistant to it, it's going to do less than 1 damage. So these are going to be the best Pokemon to use. If you have them, obviously you want to use them in the order that we're going to cover, but if you don't worry about, I don't have the top number 1, I only have number 2, or I only have number 3, because as we go further down the list, it's still going to give you the most damage that you can have for your account, which is going to give you the damage bonus in the end. The more damage you do, the more damage balls you get. So our number 1 counter is going to be Entei, with the moveset Fire Spin and Overheat. Now it says right here, best all-around Regi counter. He does take reduced or neutral damage, which is going to be the reduced damage is going to be the 0.75, or neutral means it's just one time, from most of their attacks. Now however, Entei is really weak against Earthquake. So if you have a team of 6 Enteis and the Regice has Earthquake for the charge move, Entei is going to fall very fast. So you're either going to have to use a lot of max revives, or you're going to have a separate team. That's why this has more than just 1 Pokemon listed. The next one is going to be Moltres. Now Moltres is going to be your preferred counter versus Earthquake because it's a flying type and it's going to take resistant damage against Earthquake. So where Entei falls short, Moltres kind of picks up. So if you don't have a lot of good Enteis, you can always use Moltres with the move spin, Fire Spin, and Overheat, just like Entei. It's still going to do the 1.4 time damage, but it's not going to die as fast as Entei if Regice has Earthquake. Now our number 3 is going to be a Community Day Pokemon. In order to get this moveset, you must have evolved a Charmander to Charizard on Community Day. So if you don't have Enteis, or you don't have enough to fill up a team, and you don't have Moltres, again, if you only have 1 Entei, 1 Moltres, Charizard with Fire Spin and Blast Burn is going to be a great option. Next is going to be kind of like Charizard, but it's going to be Flareon. Flareon is going to be what's called a Glass Cannon. It's going to do a large amount of damage, but it's also going to take damage very quickly. So it's going to faint much faster than Charizard, Moltres, or Entei, but it's still going to do a lot of damage with the same moveset as Moltres and Entei of Fire Spin and Overheat. Now, you can have different movesets, like Flareon could have Fire Spin and Flamethrower. It's just not going to do the maximum amount of damage that Flareon can do. So that's going to be your difference there. As we move further down the list, Ho-Oh, the legendary, is going to come into play. Ho-Oh does not have a fire move for the fast move, so you have to use Steel Wing, which is also Regice's weakness, so it still does the 1.4 damage that the fire move would do if Ho-Oh had a fire move. Now, Ho-Oh does not have the Overheat charge move, so Ho-Oh's best charge move is going to be Fire Blast. Moving on down, we're going to move to Machamp, which with the fighting event that we just recently had, hopefully you've got some good Machamps. If not, make sure you get out there and do some raids for a good Machamp. He's going to want the move Counter and Dynamic Punch. Now, he's not going to do as much damage as these up here, Entei and Moltres and everybody, because the fire is going to do more damage to the ice than the fighting will. But it is always a good option that you can have the fighting type, because like Entei, if it does have an Earthquake move, Machamp might be able to survive depending on its level, whereas Entei is going to get hurt a lot and possibly faint with 1 Earthquake attack. Another Community Day Pokemon is going to be next. Our most recent one is going to be Tyranitar with the move Smackdown. So hopefully you got a few of those Smackdown Tyranitars. And then the charge move is going to be Stone Edge. As a lot of people said before Community Day, Smackdown Stone Edge T-Tar is going to be the top rock attacker. And he does keep that, even though Smackdown took a small nerf before Community Day, so it kind of didn't do as much damage as we thought it was going to. But it is still the best rock attack you can have out there. And then if you don't have any of the above, you have Blaziken or even Breloom. So if you're somebody that's only like level 15, or you just don't have a lot of these others in your area, or you're not able to raid, whatever the reason may be, you could always use Blaziken and Breloom. They're going to do good counters, they're just not going to do as much damage as the ones above. Of course, as Tyranitar has double rock move, Golem is also going to be another choice. It's going to have double rock. Tyranitar just attacks a little faster, so it's going to do a little more damage. So if you don't have any of these, there's still options out there. Try to find something that's got a double fire move, or a double fighting move, or a double rock move. There's not a lot of good double steel Pokemon out there, so I don't know if that would even be an option. But if you do have a double steel, then that would also be something that you could use. They may not be the best counters for everybody, but they're going to be the best that you can have, and that's all that you can really focus on. So, as I've been talking to a couple things that Regice will attack with. Now, his quick moves are going to be Rock Smash and Frost Breath. So, you will definitely get either a fighting or an ice type to attack against you for his fast move. Now, his charge moves are going to be Focus Blast, Blizzard, and Earthquake. So if it has Rock Smash and Focus Blast, it's going to be a double fighting type. So you want to make sure you're using something that is resistant to fighting or takes neutral damage. Do not use something that's going to have super effective, because then you're just going to faint quicker. Frost Breath and Blizzard are going to be a really strong move set because they're both going to be double ice. And the strongest move that you're going to want to make sure that everybody's got good counters, or you have extra people to help you, is going to be Rock Smash and Earthquake. Earthquake, obviously, because it's going to hit our top attacker, Entei, and it's going to do the most damage to Entei. As it says right here, preferred counter versus Earthquake and Focus Blast is going to be Moltres, because of its flying type, reduced damage from both. So hopefully you were able to get some Moltres out of the research, and hopefully you got some Enteis from the raids. If not, I think that they're probably going to come to the research boxes really soon. But that's just pure speculation. I can't guarantee it, but I think that's what's coming soon. Now, this is just some move sets like I was talking about. Blizzard and Frost Breath, your double ice move set, is going to deal reduced damage against your fires. So Entei and Moltres and Charizard and Flareon. So if it has the move set Frost Breath and Blizzard, your fire types are definitely going to be your best option. As it says here, Focus Blast. It doesn't deal super effective damage to anything you would pick for your team except Tyranitar. So make sure that if it has Focus Blast, do not pick Tyranitar, because Tyranitar is going to be super effective, and it's going to make Tyranitar faint really fast. Again, Earthquake, as I was talking earlier, Rock Smash and Earthquake is going to be the most hard move to beat, because it's going to knock out Entei faster than any of the other two movesets. Now, with the new addition of Weather, everybody wants to take weather into account. Not so much this time, because Regice in snow for me isn't going to be boosted because it's 100 degrees. So I'm not going to have to worry too much about Regice being boosted, but I will have to pay attention for my fire types and my fighting types when they can be boosted, such as sunny weather. My Enteis and Moltres and Flareons will have more damage output because of the weather bonus. Again, cloudy weather will be beneficial if you're choosing to use fighting types, so make sure that if you are getting a team of Machamps together, and there's cloudy weather, you're going to have boosted damage against the Regice, and therefore giving you an even better chance of beating it. So they got some final notes down here. Make sure, like I said, to take advantage of that sunny weather for your fire type boosted. If you do have snowy weather, take a chance and go out there and maybe get the Regice that is going to be boosted. For the non-weather boosted Regi, it is going to be 1,764, which, like I said, is probably going to be everything in my area. If you do happen to have weather boost, 2,205 is going to be the 100% IV for you. So the best thing you can do is use your fire types or your fighting types and pay attention to what moveset the Regice is going to have. Obviously, you don't want something that Regi is going to be super effective against, such as Earthquake with Entei and Focus Blast with Tyranitar. The more damage you put out there, the more chances you are to have the higher prestige balls in the end. And with the friend now being added, you could possibly get extra raid balls that way. Let's see. For the friendship level, to require the extra raid ball is going to be the Great, and I believe it takes 7 days to get a Great friend. I'd have to look and verify again, but I think it's 7 days to get the Great. So in a week, you'll be able to get one extra Premier Ball if a Great friend is raiding with you. So make sure you take advantage of that, because a Great friend also gives you and your friend attack bonuses during that raid. So if you're using sunny weather and it's going to boost your fire types, and you have a Great friend raiding with you, you're also going to get another boost. So that makes the Regice that much easier to take down. Hopefully I helped you out with the new Regi Legendary. I do look for the other 2 Regis to come out sometime in the near future. And as long as everybody likes this one and liked how everything was covered, I will gladly start doing the legendary raids and help you guys kind of build a counter team and let you know what's best and what moveset to avoid using what Pokemon on. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to drop them down in the comments, and I'll try to get them covered, even if I have to shoot just a quick episode. Just make sure you drop anything you got or anything you would like me to cover a little more. Just drop it down in the comments, and I'll do my best to help you out and get all your questions answered.